Assalamualaikum dan selamat pagi. My name is Noor Liza Aidie binti Sapian, Master of Science in Integrated Design from University Putra Malaysia. My presentation title today is The Potential of Batik Dyeing Method on Vegetable and Cow Leather. We begin our presentation outline with introduction, methodology, result and discussion, and conclusion. For the introduction, batik is one of the Malaysia craft heritage that needs to be preserved to avoid being swept out by the current of modernity and from losing its uniqueness. Second, the term of batik refers to the process of decorating and colouring clothes using wax technique to create the pattern. To ensure that batik can compete with other more modern and stylish products, batik needs to be fresher and more contemporary to ensure that the demand for batik product is always in demand from every generation and not just according to the season or ceremony. Based on previous study, the innovation may focus only on the technique, color, and process of removing the wax. However, in terms of material other than fabric are still less explored, especially in Malaysia. From this problem lead to motivate the researcher to further explore batik dyeing method on vegetable tan cow leather as an alternative material in producing batik craft. For methodology, experiment is a method that is used to collect data in this study. The data was collected by 30 samples on vegetable tan cow leather using batik method. Then the experiment is divided into three phases, which is preparing leather, making process, and finishing process. For phase 1 is preparing the leather. This process is important to remove dirt on the surface of the leather, while phase 2 is the waxing and dyeing process. In the process of waxing, I use the block technique with temperature between 60 until 70 degrees Celsius, and also reactive dye was used in this study as a coloring material. For phase 3, it is the process of removing the wax using the peel-off method and turning off the color using leather color fixing. For result and discussion, the result was looked is the effect from 4 factors in terms of wax temperature, wax removal method, dyeing and dyeing fixings on vegetable tan cow leather. The effect of wax temperature and wax removal on vegetable tan cow leather. The findings from this experiment show that the wax diffused in the grain and corium only at temperature of 60 until 70 Celsius, and wax removal is using the peel-off method to prevent the leather from damage because of the high temperature. The speed of wax fizzing is also fast with the content of wax and resin, and the adherence rate of wax is influenced by the rate of resin material. Therefore, when the wax has cooled, it is easy to remove by using the peel-off method after the color is dry. This is in line with previous study where it was said that higher temperature will damage the structure of the skin. It is because the higher temperature, the wax will penetrate deeper into the grain and will be difficult to remove. The effect of reactive dye on vegetable tan cow leather. The finding is color brightness from dyeing exploration using reactive dye on vegetable tan cow leather. The penetration dye is only in the grain and corium part of the leather. Meanwhile, reactive dye is quickly absorbed into the leather throughout the coloring process. The dye, on the other hand, did not penetrate the leather bag and it produced a subdued color tone. According to the previous study mentioned, the color produced depends on the chemical structure of the material and the color of the leather surface. Furthermore, the main factor in skin coloring is the formation of salt bond with the amino group of collagen in the skin. The effect of acrylic solution on vegetable tan cow leather as a finishing coating. This research has been done on the effect of acrylic solution as a binder compound and leather color fixing as a top coat to obtain a good composition on the leather surface. This is in line with the previous study where the finishing process will improve the leather properties in terms of visual appearance and leather resistant to light or water. From the visual appearance, the acrylic solution can prevent the leather from being damaged and give an attractive effect. And lastly, for the conclusion is vegetable tan cow leather has the potential in producing batik craft as an alternative material other than natural fabric. This study needs to be studied in depth to propose to the relevant industry. The present result indicated that, that, that the appropriateness of the batik process on leather differs from the traditional batik process. The wax removal is using a peel off method to replace the sodium silicate as a color fixing indication. And the wax temperature is the most critical parameter in the process. The quality of batik on leather in future could be improved by using the batik process on leather. Therefore, this technique and process can develop creativity and innovation in the batik area as an alternative material for producing batik craft. Through this study, the inheritance of batik textile can be sustained through the innovation of new material in the batik craft industry. And thank you for watching.